Prime Minister Narendra Modi to flag off country's first ever driverless metro train on Delhi Metro's Magenta line today. National Common Mobility Card service to be launched on Airport Express line. 100 Kisan Rail also to be flagged off. External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar on a two-day visit to Qatar, scheduled to meet the Qatari Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister today. Beijing city enters state of emergency as city reports 13 locally transmitted COVID cases. Mass testing underway. US President Donald Trump signs into law COVID relief and spending package bill, averts partial government shutdown. And India get a 131-run first innings lead after getting bowled out for 326 in the first session of day 3 of the second test match against Australia. Australia in their second innings lose 2 wickets for 60 on board. Good morning. Welcome to English News. I am Anil Thomas. Now for the stories in detail. Starting first up with a technological revolution. A driverless metro train will run for the first time in the country as Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate India's first ever driverless train operations on Delhi Metro's Magenta line today via video conferencing. A fully operational National Common Mobility Card service on the Airport Express line will also be flagged off. More in this report.
There was a time when metro operations were limited to a few places, but times changed and Delhi saw a web of metro rail network. Passengers greatly benefited as far as commuting within the national capital, and now metro has taken a giant leap in its achievements. Now metro trains will run driverless on tracks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate India's first ever driverless train operations on Delhi's Metro Magenta line, Janakpuri West Botanical Gardens, along with a fully operational National Common Mobility Card service on the Airport Express line via video conferencing. After the start of driverless services on the Magenta line, the Pink Line of Delhi Metro is expected to have driverless operations by mid-2021. The National Common Mobility Card, which will be fully operationalized on the Airport Express line, will enable anyone carrying a RuPay debit card issued from any part of the country to travel on the Airport Express line using that card. This facility will become available on the entire Delhi Metro network by 2022. Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, or DMRC, had started trial of driverless trains nearly 3 years ago. With the start of driverless metro on the Magenta line, passengers will be able to avail faster and improved services. What is special is that the entire process of operating such trains will be done from the Operations and Control Center. During the 18 years of Delhi Metro operations, this is seen as the most important achievement so far. Now with the expansion of the metro network, its ambit is 390 kilometers. It will herald a new era of traveling comfort and enhanced mobility. The driverless trains will be fully automatic, and running of such trains will end human error. With Bureau Inputs, DD India.
Well, for more of the story, our correspondent Arun Sharma joining us this morning. Arun, good morning. Arun, give us a sense that metro is going driverless. Does that mean now is it going to stick only to one particular line 8, or are we going to see some other lines also being added to driverless metro? And also looking at this particular transformation, urban rapid transport that happens in the national capital region, how much of it is going to change with this driverless technique that comes into play?
Well, driverless will be a new normal when we talk about the smart urban mobility solution.
Okay.
And in that context, today's Magenta line being upgraded to a driverless solutions is very significant in that aspect. By the mid 2021 or going forward in 2021, we can also expect that Pink Line also being upgraded to a driverless solution. Well, driverless will be a new normal as far as the smart urban mobility solution is concerned, and various other countries have upgraded their urban mobility solutions to driverless services. This includes countries like France, Mexico, USA, Chile, Korea, Japan for that matter. So in all these countries, all the developed countries, primarily you can say that the driverless urban transport solution is available. So now India will also be joining that league of developed countries whereby the urban transport mobility is driverless in nature. Well, there will be less human interventions as far as driverless solutions are concerned, or you can say there will be no human interventions, right from checking in or swiping or your card to entering or boarding the train or to coming out of the train or through entire journey. This entire urban transportation will be driverless in nature. This also gives a sense that how India is upgrading its infrastructure to the latest technological solutions going forward. And in that context only, it is very much important as far as today's driverless solution is concerned. We should not forget this fact that gradually India is also adopting that technology whereby, how can urban mobility can be driverless in nature. We have seen that experiments are going on in various other countries whereby driverless cars are also in pipeline. That includes USA. We have seen that USA is also, trying to upgrade its infrastructure into various stages of experiments as far as driverless car is concerned. So once the urban transport mobility is upgraded to driverless in nature, we can soon expect, by 2030, who knows, driverless car can also be reality in country like India. Anil?
Okay, Arun, since you mentioned driverless train operation, it also means, does it technically mean that it's an unattended train operations? You don't have a driver, but you don't have anybody in both the cockpits, either in the front or in the rear when it comes to a metro train.
All right. So, Anil, when the trials were going on as far as the driverless trains were concerned, driver was technically sitting in the cockpit, you can say that, or you can say as far as the initial stages are concerned. But now it will be completely driverless in nature. So when we talk about the Magenta line, the metro train that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to inaugurate today, that will be completely driverless in nature. There will be no driver or human intervention as far as this driverless train is concerned. So it is 100% automated, a fully automated train that we'll be witnessing now onwards. And that's the beauty of this driverless train, that you actually don't realize whether this train is driverless or it is running with a driver, because the kind of smart commands that it will be receiving, the kind of latest technology that has been included, the robotics technology that has been included as far as this network is concerned. So driverless metro train actually means that there is no human intervention as far as this metro train or the Magenta line is concerned, that will be running on the Magenta line, covering a network of close to 30 metro stations, or covering a distance of 37 kilometers as far as this Delhi metro is concerned.
Okay, also, today there is going to be that fully operational National Common Mobility Card. How is it going to be a game changer? We had something called the Delhi One card that existed. We got a metro card that's already existing. Now we got something called a National Common Mobility Card that comes into play. Will all be functional at the same time is what, would be a question that comes to the mind of the viewer, or are there more dimensions to it?
So dimension is, the government is focusing upon the aspect that how can one nation, one card can be ensured. So you're talking about various cards. For parking, one card. For paying off toll, another card. For traveling in a metro, another card. For bus travel, there is another card. So what government is trying to do, it is trying to integrate all these cards into one card, and that's a RuPay NCMC card. That means one card for all the transport mobility solutions. Initially, this NCMC card will be operational on the airport express line. And the best part is that the RuPay card, we have seen that RuPay card gradually is becoming global as well. In various countries, India has launched its RuPay card that includes Singapore, that includes Bhutan, that includes Qatar, UAE, and various other Gulf countries as well. So RuPay card has become global in nature gradually. Before 2014, we were seeing that, our dependency was much more on the foreign cards like MasterCard, Visa card, but gradually our dependency is becoming more on this Atmanirbhar card, or you can say that Made in India card, that's a RuPay card. So now RuPay card is also becoming technologically very much advanced in nature. So once you have a RuPay card, if in case anybody who has got the RuPay card issued from the banks in last 18 months will be having the facility of NCMC. But if in case he is not issued, you can just get it issued from the any of the 25 banks that it has done tie-ups with. All the banks primarily are issuing this NCMC or RuPay card, which will be operational or as an NCMC card. So you can just swipe your card the way you are swiping your current smart cards or the Delhi Metro cards, and your money will be getting deducted from your account, and you can go ahead with your travel. As far as parking is concerned, you can use your RuPay card. As far as other modes or other usages are concerned, on the Airport Express line initially, you can use this the RuPay card or the NCMC card. So the government is ensuring how can one nation, one card can be ensured. And in that context only, this technologically upgraded RuPay NCMC card will play an important role. And it will be a game changer. And we can expect that by mid-21, or you can say by 2022, actually, entire Delhi metro network will be converted or will be upgraded as far as this NCMC card is concerned. So by 2022, you will be in a position to swipe your NCMC card at any of the junctions of the metro or a one-stop solution for all your transport mobility. So that's what the government is targeting as of now.
Okay, one final word before I let you go with regards to the 100th Kisan Rail that's going to be flagged off today. You know, it started on August 7th. You know, we are on December 28th. You know, so roughly in a span of say 4.5 months, we have hit the 100 train mark there. You know, a landmark achievement. But having said that, do you feel that you know, the seamless transportation of perishable goods, you know, it's going to be a game changer, especially railways coming, you know, as a big player, especially when it comes to perishable goods and their transportation in India?
All right. So, Anil, in last 6 years, what we have seen is that government is ensuring that how can farmers' income can be doubled. That means whatever they are selling, how can they get a better price for their goods? So, in that context, it is very much important to provide the farmers with better markets and additional markets to what they're having as of now. So when we talk about the Kisan Rail, it is game changer in a sense because now farmers will be having more markets because a farmer of Maharashtra will be in a position to sell his produce to a market in Bihar or maybe market in West Bengal and vice versa from West Bengal to Maharashtra as well. So when we talk about today's initiative whereby Maharashtra will be connected to West Bengal, that means the farmers of Maharashtra, they can or farmers in West Bengal, whatever they are producing, they can sell to another state as well. The best part is that till now the farmers, I mean before the Kisan Rail, the farmers were much more depending upon the lorries or the trucks as of now. But now what is going to happen that earlier when they used to load their stuff on the trucks, it used to take 48 hours. That means up to 2 days it used to take, and there was no cold storages as far as the trucks are concerned. And the mobility from truck used to be very much costly in nature. But by Kisan Rail, government is providing 50% of subsidy. That means it is very much cost efficient in nature. Second, the cold storages are available as far as this Kisan Rail is concerned. So whatever food items, the perishable food items that you are loading on the trains or in the train as far as the Kisan Rail is concerned, that will reach fresh to the destination wherever it is going forward. And it will not take, more than 36 hours to reach its destination to other state as well. So yes, number one, fresh foods or vegetables or perishable items can be, transported to another state. Number two, it will be very much cost efficient in nature as government is providing 50% of subsidy. So the farmers are getting bigger market, new market as well, apart from whatever they are having now, and the fresh food items or the produce can reach to the other state as well. So it's a game changer initiative by the government, because earlier also we have seen that government has announced a 1 lakh crore of agriculture infrastructure fund, which ensures building up of the cold storages by the farmers and farmers organization. So government is gradually focusing upon the storage facilities, cold storage facilities, and how can bigger markets can be given to the farmers. That is what the government is targeting as of now. And in that context only, the Kisan Rail or the 100th Kisan Rail, which is connecting Maharashtra to West Bengal, is very much significant.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us, Arun, this morning with those updates there. We'll come back to you as that inauguration process takes place for more updates on that story. Well, staying with that Kisan story that Arun was talking about, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will flag off the 100th Kisan Rail from Sangola in Maharashtra to Shalimar in West Bengal today evening via video conferencing. Union Minister Narendra Singh Tomar and Piyush Goyal will also be present on the occasion. The multi-commodity train service will carry vegetables such as cauliflower, capsicum, cabbage, drumsticks, chilies, onion, as well as fruits like grapes, oranges, pomegranate, banana, custard apple, etc. Loading and unloading of perishable commodities will be permitted at all en route stoppages with no bar on the size of consignment. Government has extended a subsidy of 50% on transportation of fruits and vegetables. Well, let's know more about Kisan Rail. The first Kisan Rail was introduced from Devlali to Danapur on the 7th of August 2020. This was further extended up to Muzaffarpur. On getting good response from the farmers, the frequency of Kisan Rail was also increased from weekly to 3 days in a week. Kisan Rail has been a game changer in ensuring fast transportation of agricultural produce across the country. It provides a seamless supply chain of perishable produce. External Affairs Minister Dr. S Jaishankar is on a two-day visit to Qatar. Jaishankar is scheduled to meet the Qatari Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman bin Jassim Al Thani. Jaishankar will also call on other important dignitaries of the state of Qatar. This is Dr. S Jaishankar's first visit to the country as External Affairs Minister. During the visit, he will also hold talks with his counterpart on bilateral issues as well as regional and international issues of mutual interest. On Sunday, the External Affairs Minister attended the India-Qatar Business Roundtable. While interacting, he appreciated the commitment for strengthening business partnership with India. He thanked the government of Qatar, the Emir, for the support and care for Indian community during a very difficult time. He also briefed them about the new opportunities flowing from Atmanirbhar Bharat in India. Dr. S. Jaishankar also interacted with the Indian community virtually. He thanked the local government for helping the Indians in difficult times and people of the Indian community for handling the situation in bad times. He said that India has provided medicines to 150 countries and sent medical teams to assist the friendly nation in tackling COVID-19. Lauding the Indian community, the External Affairs Minister said that the community members have helped in establishing the image of India in the region. Well, for more on the story, Abhishek Jha, correspondent, joining us this morning. Abhishek, good morning. Abhishek, give us the significance of this particular meeting, considering that India and Qatar have, worked closely, especially during this pandemic, and also when it comes to, creating an air bubble between the two countries. And how has, the people, especially the Indian community, a large number of Indian community there in Qatar, how has, building bridges, especially when it comes to this particular Arab nation, and, when you look at West Asia in particular, how has India, what's the significance that India plays to Qatar in this whole gambit?
Neil, this is quite a significant visit of External Affairs Minister at this time of COVID pandemic. We have seen that a huge number of Indian diaspora live in Qatar. Almost 30% of the population of Qatar is made up of Indian origin people and diaspora and the working force who goes from India. There is a huge remittances that are sent from Qatar to India, and this is also part of economy that runs several states and several households in our country. And to secure their interest, these workforce's interest is one of the key reason why this visit is happening at this time. Recently, in this month of December only, India and Qatar, in one of their joint meeting, they have decided to Indian workforces have got more power, and their labor laws have been improved and their condition of working have also been improved. So this visit is also one of the kind of expressing gratitude from Indian side to the Qatari government. Also, this visit comes as India's extended neighborhood policy towards West Asia, where we have seen in the last few weeks there has been several high-level visits in this region.
Okay.
External Affairs Minister has also visited Bahrain. Our Army Chief has also been visiting UAE. Oil and Gas and Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has been in regular touch with his counterparts in this region. So this is one of the strategic area where India wants to secure its long-term interest. And the other region, which is also one of the important issue, is the clean energy supplier. Qatar is going to be world's largest clean energy supplier in the days to come, because it has got the third largest depository of natural gas, and India's almost 80% of LNG import is dependent on Qatar. And India, as we have seen, the Prime Minister has mentioned in many times in the past that India wants to shift to clean energy and green energy in the days to come, and in that vision Qatar can play a crucial role. So all these important issues are going to be discussed and going to be on the table when our External Affairs Minister will be meeting his counterparts in Qatar today. Yesterday he has met the Indian diaspora in Qatar, and he has told them that they have been able to contribute not only in making and development of Qatar, but also improving India's image in foreign countries, and this is one of the things that Indians should continue to do.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Abhishek, thank you and appreciate you joining us from the newsroom this morning. Well, shifting focus now, President Nath Kovind, who's on a visit to Diu, inaugurated the light and sound show at Diu Fort. The history of Diu is described in this show. A cultural program depicting the culture of Gujarat was also showcased. Earlier in the day, the President laid the foundation stone and inaugurated several developmental projects in Diu. It included the first academic session of the IIT Vadodara International Campus Diu, improvement of 1.3 kilometer heritage walkway on Diu City Wall, conservation and facade restoration of heritage personettes, upgradation of fruits and vegetable market at Fort Road, and development of integrated municipal solid waste management system for the entire urban and rural areas of Diu district. General M.M. Narwane, the Chief of Army Staff, has proceeded on a 3-day visit to the Republic of Korea. During the visit, he will be meeting senior military and civilian leadership of the Republic of Korea. General Narwane will lay the wreath at the National Cemetery and War Memorial at Seoul. He is scheduled to call on the Minister of National Defense, Republic of Korea's Army Chief, Chairman of Joint Chief of Staff and Minister of Defense Acquisition, Planning, Administration. General Narwane will discuss avenues for enhancing India-Korea defense relations. The Army Chief will also visit Korea Combat Training Center in Inji County, Gangwon Province, and Advanced Defense Development at Daejeon. Well, back home, moving to eastern part of India, the winter session of the Assam Legislative Assembly will begin from today, following all COVID-19 protocols. The winter session will be of 3 days till Wednesday. The supplementary budget for the year 2020-21 will be placed in the winter session. The supplementary budget is necessitated as the state government needs some additional expenditure for this fiscal. There will be oral questions for an hour in each of the 3 days. Moving to Madhya Pradesh, where the winter session of the Madhya Pradesh Assembly, which was earlier scheduled to begin today, has been postponed in view of the COVID-19 situation. The Pro Tem Speaker on Sunday disclosed that 61 employees and officials of the Assembly Secretariat and 5 MLAs have tested coronavirus positive. The decision to put off the 3-day session was taken at the all-party meeting held in Bhopal last evening. The all-party meeting was attended by Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Home Minister Narottam Mishra, State Congress Unit President Kamal Nath, among others. Well, the nation pays tribute to senior BJP leader and former Finance Minister ArunJaitley on his birth anniversary. Besides finance, Jaitley previously held the Defence, Corporate Affairs, Commerce and Industry, Law and Justice cabinet portfolios in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Narendra Modi government. With Jaitley as the finance minister, Modi government was able to take several key economic initiatives like demonetization and the implementations of the goods and service tax. ArunJaitley breathed his last on August 24, 2019. Remembering the senior BJP leader, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a tweet said, and I quote, "Remembering my friend ArunJaitley ji on his birth anniversary, his warm personality, intellect, legal acumen and wit are missed by all those he closely interacted with. He worked tirelessly for India's progress." Senior BJP leader and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also remembered ArunJaitley. In a tweet, he said, and I quote, "Remembering ArunJaitley ji on his Jayanti, he was a seasoned leader, parliamentarian, lawyer and also a scholar. His contribution to India's public life and his role in strengthening the party will always be remembered. I offered my heartfelt tributes to Arun ji on his Jayanti." Home Minister Amit Shah also remembers the senior leader. In a tweet, he said, and I quote, "Remembering a great friend, Shri ArunJaitley ji on his Jayanti, he was an outstanding parliamentarian whose knowledge and insights had very few parallels. He made a lasting contributions to India's polity and served the nation with great passion and devotions. My heartfelt tributes." Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting Prakash Javadekar also remembered Jaitley on his Jayanti. In a tweet, he said, "Tributes to former Finance and Defence Minister Shri ArunJaitley ji on his Jayanti." Shifting focus and taking a quick update on COVID-19 from across the country on how numbers are. India has scaled a significant peak in the fight against global pandemic. The country has reported a trend of sustained decrease in the number of active cases. India's total active caseload has fallen to 2.77 lakh today. India's present active caseload consists of just 2.72% of India's total positive cases. 21,131 cases recovered and were discharged in the last 24 hours. The total recovered cases increased to 97,82,669. The gap between recovered cases and active cases, that is steadily increasing, has crossed 95 lakh and presently stands at 95 lakh 5,368. The difference in the new recoveries outnumbering the new cases has also improved the recovery rate to 95.83% today. The difference is continuously growing as the recoveries outpace the daily new cases. Meanwhile, rigorous testing has been going on across the country. According to ICMR, 16 crore 88 lakh 18,054 COVID tests have been conducted till date. On Sunday, that is the 27th of December, 7,15,397 tests were conducted. Shifting to world numbers on COVID, how the numbers are looking across the world. The virus has infected more than 8 crore 12 lakh people, 5 crore 72 lakh the number of recoveries, 17 lakh 71,000 the number of deaths due to COVID-19. United States, the worst affected in terms of pandemic, both in terms of infections as well as fatalities. In terms of infections, 1 crore 95 lakh, that's the number of cases there in the United States. The list of fatalities now crossing the 3 lakh 41,000 mark for United States. In China, Beijing has issued instructions to all districts, departments and companies to enter a state of emergency and adopt stringent measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The city reported a total of 13 confirmed COVID-19 cases, 9 in Shunyi district, 3 in Chaoyang district and 1 in Xinjiang district. With a resurgence in cases, Beijing has started mass testing and is expected to see New Year holidays with scaled down public activities and a reduced number of outbound travel. Popular temple fairs will be suspended for a second year in 2021 and other cultural activities remain banned. Inbound and outbound tourism remain suspended. Meanwhile, several tourism agencies in Guangdong province suspended their service to Beijing after it reported locally transmitted COVID-19 cases for a fourth straight day on Sunday. On to international stories, US President Donald Trump has signed the coronavirus relief and government funding bill worth $2.3 trillion, providing relief to millions of jobless Americans. It was approved by the Congress last week. Earlier, Trump had demanded the Congress change the bill to increase the size of stimulus checks for struggling Americans to $2,000 from $600. Amid this, Democrats were on board with the $2,000 payments, but many Republicans had opposed it in the past. Well, on to sports stories and a quick update on that Melbourne test there. At this point of time, as we speak, Australia have lost 2 wickets. Australia are trailing this particular test match there. India getting a 131-run lead in the first innings and Australia 65 for the loss of 2 wickets. Steve Smith batting on 6, Matthew Wade giving him company on the other hand, batting at 27. So earlier, India were bowled out for 326 in the first innings. The top scorer for India, Captain Ajinkya Rahane, scoring a valuable knock there. Ajinkya Rahane was the top scorer for India, scoring an important knock of 112 runs. Ravindra Jadeja was the next big contributor, completing his half century and departing for 57 runs. The lower order somehow did not show that resistance that was needed, as Mitchell Starc and Nathan Lyon were the wrecker-in-chief for the host. Both Starc and Lyon picked 3 wickets apiece, while Pat Cummins snapped 2 wickets. Australia lead the 4-match series 1-0. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of news, but you take good care of yourself and have a safe and wonderful day ahead. Bye-bye.